So YouTube just updated its monetization policy. But what does that actually mean for you if you create or edit YouTube videos? Because not every YouTuber is using YouTube for the same reason. Some creators depend on YouTube revenue. These creators need views, watch time, subscribers, and engagement to grow their channel and eventually make money from the platform. But there are also professionals and business owners who use YouTube for something completely different. They use YouTube to build trust, authority, and attract potential clients to grow their business. And because these two groups of creators have different goals, the way you edit a video for these two groups should not be the same. And here's the part I think a lot of editors are going to miss. These changes don't just affect how creators grow. They could also change what creators expect from the person editing their video. Because once you understand what these creators are actually trying to achieve, you will realize that the editor they need isn't necessarily the editor who knows how to make videos look good. So by the end of this video, you will know how to approach a YouTube video based on what the creator wants it to achieve, understand what the audience needs, and adapt your editing to help make that happen. So let's start with the change YouTube just announced. Starting February 1, 2027, YouTube is increasing the requirement for new creators who want to qualify for ad and YouTube Premium Revenue Share. Basically, creators who want to get into the YouTube monetization program. Up until this update, creator needed 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 qualified public watch hours in the past 365 days to qualify through long-form content. Starting February 2027, that watch time requirement will increase to 8,000 qualified watch hours, while the 1,000 subscribers requirement remains the same. And getting 4,000 watch hours is not easy, let alone 8,000 public watch hours. I mean, look at this channel. This channel has this number of views, and all of that only generated this number of watch time hours. And this one, you can't even see the numbers. With these numbers, hopefully you can do the math yourself and imagine the amount of effort, energy, and strategy it will take somebody to reach this requirement. And it doesn't even end there. If a creator wanted to qualify through short form content, the current requirement is 1,000 subscribers and 10 million qualified short views in the past 90 days. And starting February 2027, that will increase to 20 million qualified short views in the last 90 days. There are also activity requirements for channels already in the partner program. Starting February 2027, a channel can meet YouTube's activity requirements through 1,000 qualified watch hours in the past 365 days, 1 million qualified short views in the past 90 days, or by uploading at least 2 long-form videos or 5 shorts within 90 days. And for creators earning specifically from the shorts revenue sharing, there is also an ongoing requirement to meet 10 million qualified short views in a rolling 90-day period to continue earning from shorts. Now, those numbers sound like a YouTube problem, but they are also an editing problem, because if creators need to work harder to generate views and watch time, the question becomes, what kind of videos are you helping them make to get that result? And that's where you need to understand who your client is and what they are actually trying to accomplish with YouTube. Before you even open DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, or whatever video editing software you use, you need to know one thing. Why is this person making this video?
Why is this person making this video?
Because if you don't understand the goal, you can make a beautiful video that completely fails. There are professionals and business owners who use YouTube to build authority, attract potential clients, and grow their business. And then there are creators whose primary goal is to grow their channel and make money from YouTube. Both are using YouTube, but they are playing two very different games, and that changes the way you should approach the edit. Let's start with the professional and business owner. Imagine you are editing for a consultant, a lawyer, a coach, an agency owner, or a SaaS founder. Their goal isn't necessarily to get 10 million views. They want the right people to watch their video. Maybe they only need 5,000 people to watch a video, but those 5,000 people are potential clients. So your job as an editor in this case isn't simply to maximize views. Yes, that matters, but that is not the main goal. Your job is to help the videos communicate expertise and build trust. And if you are an editor, this changes the way you think about almost every part of the edit, from the hook to the pacing to even the thumbnail and title. If you are wondering what thumbnail and titles has got to do with you as an editor, well, wait until you hear how important that is for your edit. Now, how do you edit for storytelling for business clients? Let's say your client says something like this.
A company came to me after losing $200,000 because of one simple mistake.
That's already a story. So don't just leave the talking head on the screen while they explain everything. Build the story visually. How do you do that? What happened? Show the evidence. Why did it happen? Visualize the problem. What did they change? Show the solution. What happened afterward? Show the result. Now the viewer isn't just hearing the person say, I'm an expert. They are seeing evidence that this person knows what they are talking about. That's how editing can build trust and authority. How about pacing for the business content? And this is where you need to understand something. Good pacing doesn't always mean fast pacing. If you are editing for a professional, you don't need to zoom into their face every 2 seconds or throw an animation onto every sentence. Your goal is clarity. Remove unnecessary pauses, remove repetitions, remove anything that makes the explanation harder to follow. Then use B-rolls, graphics, diagrams, screen recordings, and serial motions to make complicated information easier to understand. The viewer should feel, this person knows exactly what they are talking about, and I understand what they are saying. That's much more valuable to a business than simply making the video flashy. And the retention works differently here too. You don't need to manufacture fake suspects. You need to give the viewer a reason to continue because the information is relevant and useful to them. So before editing, you need to understand who is the target audience, what problems do they have, what do they care about, what questions are they asking, what would make them lose interest in this video. And this is why you should understand the thumbnail and title too. Because the thumbnail and title make a promise, your editor has to deliver on that promise. If the thumbnail says, you are losing clients because of this, and the first 30 seconds of the video have nothing to do with losing clients, you've created a disconnect. The viewer clicked for one reason and is getting something else. So a valuable editor should understand the entire journey. Thumbnail, title, hook, story, information, payoff, then call to action. That's how you become more than someone who simply cut footage. AI can do so, but AI doesn't know all of these things we are discussing. At least not now. Now let's talk about the creator whose primary goal is to grow the channel and make money from YouTube. For this creator, views and watch time, that is retention, matter much more directly. They need views, watch time, subscribers, monetization, and revenue. And when the requirements for monetization become harder to reach, there may be even more pressure on these creators to publish consistently and maximize every opportunity to generate views and watch time. And this creates another opportunity for editors, and that is speed. Because if a creator needs to publish more consistently, they need an editor who can keep up with that demand. So as an editor, your value isn't just I can edit your videos. Your value becomes something like I understand what your audience wants to watch. I can help your videos perform to achieve that result, and I can deliver that work consistently and on time. That means turnaround time becomes part of your value. It means you need to build a workflow that allows you to work faster without sacrificing the things that actually make the video work. Create a reusable template, build your own animation process, or buy some if you can. Organize your sound effects, music, B-rolls, and other assets. Create systems for your text transitions and recurring graphics. And develop a consistent workflow for everything from organizing the footage to editing the dialogue, adding B-roll, sound design, graphics, and exporting. Because if you can produce the same quality of work in less time, you become more useful to a creator who needs to publish consistently. But speed doesn't mean rushing the edit. It means removing unnecessary work from your workflow so that you can spend more time on the things that actually matter. And once you have that efficiency, you can focus on what makes the video perform. Storytelling, pacing, retention, audience psychology, and visual storytelling. We can't possibly cover everything about storytelling, pacing, retention, and audience psychology in just one video. Each of these is a skill you will need to dive much deeper into, and we will do so in future videos. But I want to give you a starting point, some practical things you can begin applying to your edits right now to give the video a better chance of achieving its goal. Let's start with the storytelling. Let's say your client says,
Today I'm going to show you 5 ways to make your videos look better.
don't just edit the 5 tips. Ask yourself, why would someone stay until the 5th tip? Maybe the creator says somewhere in the video.
And the fit technique is actually the one that made the biggest difference for me.
You have to cut this statement and connect it to the first statement so the viewer will learn this way.
Then I'm going to show you 5 ways to make your videos look better, and the fit technique is actually the one that made the biggest difference for me.
Now, you have given the viewer a reason to stay, hear what that fit technique is, even though the creator did not initially put this in a straight sentence. This way, you've created an open loop. The viewer wants the answer. Your job as an editor is to reinform that curiosity. When the creator introduces the problem, show the problem. You probably have heard this rule. Show, don't tell. That applies here. When they reveal the solution, show the solution. When they reach the most important point, emphasize it with text or graphic. You are not just making the timeline more visually interesting. You are helping control the viewer's attention. Now, how about pacing for retention? For these videos, you need to be ruthless about anything that slows the video down unnecessarily. Cut unnecessary pauses, repeated statements, filter words, redundant explanations, long introductions, and the sections that don't move the story forward. But don't make everything fast. The viewer still needs time to process information. Always keep the viewer in mind. In this video I mentioned, and I will say it again, editing is not about you, the editor. It is about the viewer. Help the viewer understand what matters the most. The best edit isn't the one that shows the most. It is the one that communicates the best. A good pacing is about creating rhythm. Fast, slow, fast, pause, impact, and continue. You are constantly managing the viewer's attention. Okay. And here's one of the biggest things an editor can do. Stop leaving the talking head on screen when the viewer could be seeing the thing being discussed. If the creator says, for example, this is what my analytics looks like, show the analytics. If they say, here's the mistake I made, show the mistake. If they say, this is the email I received, show the email. If they are explaining a process, visualize the process. You are taking information the viewer could only hear and turning it into something they can see. And that can make the video easier to follow, more engaging, and more likely to hold the viewer's attention. But there is still another decision you need to make, because even if you understand your client's goals, you can still approach the edit completely wrong depending on the format you choose. Short form and long form are not simply two different video lengths. They require you to think differently about attention. And this is why I don't think you should try to become the editor who edits everything. You can understand both or you can learn both, but choose the one you want to become exceptionally good at, because I'm a video editor is very broad, but I specialize in long form YouTube videos that keep viewers watching. It's much more specific and clients understand exactly what you do. Now, how should you approach short form content if you choose it? Short form is a completely different game. You don't have 10 minutes to convince someone to stay. You might have 2 seconds. So your first job is to stop the scroll. You can do that through visual hook or sound or text or anything that can grab the viewer's attention quickly. And we'll dive more deeper into this in future videos. With this, it cannot begin with, hey guys, welcome back to this channel. No, get to the point, create curiosity, make the viewer think, wait, what? And maintain information density. The viewer should constantly be receiving something. New information, new visual example, new information payoff. But don't confuse fast editing with good editing. You don't need a zoom every half second. You need progression. Every moment should either advance the idea, reform the idea, or create anticipation for what's next. If it does none of those things, why is this still here? And then deliver the payoff. If you create a question at the beginning, answer it. If you made a promise, deliver it. If you created curiosity, satisfy it. That's how you make a short form video feel complete. But again, all of these are just scratching the surface. We'll dive deeper into these things in future videos. What if what you have chosen is a long form? Long form is different because you are managing attention over a much longer period. So you need to understand story structure, information flow, pacing, retention, and visual storytelling. You need to know where the viewer might get bored, when the energy needs to change, when to show something instead of telling them, and when to simply let the speaker speak. Because good long-form editing isn't about making every second exciting. It's about making the entire video worth listening. So who should you work with? Now, If you are choosing a specialty, you should also choose the type of client you want to serve. You can work with creators who are trying to grow and monetize their channels, or you can work with professionals and businesses that use YouTube to attract clients. Both can be great, but understand what you are selling. If you are working with a creator whose goal is YouTube revenue, you are helping them improve views, watch time, engagement, and retention. If you are working with a creator who needs YouTube for business, you are helping them improve attention, clarity, authority, trust, and more importantly, the chance of turning viewers into customers. So don't just ask, what kind of videos can I edit? Ask, what kind of result do I want my editing to help the creator achieve? And this is why I don't think the future of video editing is simply about learning more effects. Anyone can learn that. Even AI can do it. Such skills are almost becoming a commodity. A zoom, a transition, a glow, a text animation, or a sound effect. But a valuable editor can look at a timeline and ask, why should this cut happen here? Why should this section be shorter? Why should we slow down here? Why should we show this instead of keeping the talking head? What does the audience actually care about? What promise that the title and thumbnail make? And what is the video ultimately trying to accomplish? AI, at least for now, doesn't know these things. Because once you understand the answer to those questions, your editing changes. If the goal is watch time, you edit for retention. If the goal is authority, you edit for clarity and trust. If the goal is entertainment, you edit for energy and engagement. If the goal is getting clients, you edit to communicate expertise and build confidence. So don't just become an editor who knows how to use editing software. Become an editor who understands the audience, the client, and the purpose behind every video. Because the most valuable editors aren't just making videos look good. They are helping the videos work. But how do you actually do that? Well, in this video, I'll show you exactly how to use your elements and background to naturally direct the viewer's eyes to the most important part of the screen. So if you want to learn how to guide the viewer's attention through your edit and design, then watch this video next.